Yeah. I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. Yeah. I hope my team they won one. Yeah. Man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. Yeah. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is episode 750 of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. This is the Indy Report. I hope you guys had a phenomenal Thanksgiving. My apologies for not being here the last couple of weeks. It's been kind of hectic. Last week was Thanksgiving. The week before that, I had like a personal matter that I had to deal with. So I'm going to go through the intro right now. Brandon King, Tariq Wilson, and Jeffery Johnson are on assignment. But welcome to episode 750 of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast, the show that's covering the HBCU sporting diaspora, all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small, from the NAIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture and the HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCUs and athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, David L. Rhodes. Like I said, with my co-hosts who are currently on assignments, Jeffery Johnson, Brandon King, and Tariq Wilson. We are filming from our home studios and sending a signal live to our KCOH 12:30 a.m. studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. I'm hoping to have some of my partners in crime show up later in this show. I'm going to primarily focus on the status of A&T football and things of that sort. But I wanted to try to knock out some of the news of the day right now and give you my thoughts on perspective of what's been going on outside in the HBCU diaspora, so to speak. The SWAC announced the postseason awards. I'm just going to primarily focus on the individual awards. So the Coach of the Year was Tremaine Jackson from Prairie View. Well-deserved. First year into the conference, did a phenomenal job of what he did by winning the SWAC West. And he kind of clinched the SWAC West before even Jackson State clinched the East. So shout out to him. Offensive Player of the Year, Andrew Body. I know he hasn't played for the last couple of games, but while he was there, he was by far the best offensive player in the SWAC, in my opinion. Defensive Player of the Year, Quincy Ivory from Jackson State. Not shocking. He had a phenomenal season as well. Newcomer of the Year is also Quincy Ivory, so shout out to him, taking two individual awards out. And our Freshman of the Year is Chase Bigman from Prairie View A&M. Congratulations to all those winners. I know if one of my partners in crime does show up, we'll also probably have some discuss a little bit about this even more, involving Southern naming Marshall Faulk as the head football coach. I had some time to listen into the bulk of this press conference when he was introduced on Monday. Like I was in Mississippi this week for Thanksgiving. But I was on my way back to Jackson to catch my flight home. And I got to listen to the presser. And one thing about this hire that's going to be fascinating, because I know we've seen the trend of the celebrity coach, so to speak. But I think this is a perfect fit for Southern University. He's from New Orleans. He knows the landscape. This is his first opportunity to be a head coach, but he does have some type of experience as a position coach, as a running backs coach for Colorado, up there with Deion Sanders. I just asked the Southern faithful to be patient with him. I think they're going to be an improved team off the name recognition alone, and I think Marshall Faulk knows what it looks like. So it'll be fascinating to see how this unfolds. For those who don't know who Marshall Faulk is, man, like when I was a kid, man, he was like one of the best running backs in the NFL. He played with legendary NFL players such as Peyton Manning and Kurt Warner, and he was on the Greatest Show on Turf with the St. Louis Rams that won the Super Bowl. He's had some phenomenal coaches along the way. I think, he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer, contrary to what people think. It's not the NFL Hall of Fame, it's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. I had a tremendous career. He was an all-purpose yards machine when he was in NFL. So he understands what it looks like. He broke pretty much all of the records at San Diego State. He's won the NFL MVP. So he's a tremendous football player. And I'm happy to see him go back home to Louisiana. And I'm fascinated to see what he does with Southern. But shout out to him, and good luck to him. That is a demanding fan base, but I hope you guys have some brevity and some patience with him. And I'm pretty sure y'all. I think you guys are going to be a little bit understanding. The fact that Anelius Williams and Avery Johnson was at that press conference was a sight to see. The comments with regards to, I've never came down for a football press conference was impressive, to say the least. So that shows you how important this hire was. I'm going to be fascinated to see how it unfolds long term. I don't want to be screaming they're going to win the SWAC West in the first year, because I did that with Tremaine Jackson. But I think this is a different type of situation, and SWAC West is is in a different landscape now than what it was before. But I think they'll do much better than their placing that they had this year, with only one conference win. And shout out to them for winning the Bayou Classic as well. I know that's big. It's a big game. It's a class. I was trying to figure out a way to get down there for it since I was close to the area, but I couldn't pull it. But shout out to them for pulling that off. I think there's going to be some more head coaching changes, but time's going to tell. But I will say this: shout out to Southern one more time for getting this done quickly when you got early signing day happening later this week. And on top of that, you also have the portal opening in a few weeks, and it's only one opportunity in the portal. So tremendous job by Southern in getting it done in such a rapid rate. I think this is going to be the new trend, man. Everything that's going on in college football, from that standpoint, you're going to be seeing more coaches being let go sooner, and more coaches getting hired sooner from that standpoint. Shout out to Lennon. I do agree. I don't know about Ed Reed as a defensive coordinator, though. I don't know how I feel. I wouldn't be mad at it, though, because I think that would be a good opportunity for Ed Reed as well, to kind of like show, and then maybe eventually get a head coaching spot. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see who he brings in as a staff. I'm very fascinated about who potentially is going to go to a staff. Looks like he said during the press conference, he already knows 90% of who he's going to put on the staff. But yeah. That's what's up, man. Shout out to you, Adam. This is the first time I saw Tony Clayton, who was the mover and shaker behind Southern Athletics. Yeah, I kept hearing the name. I didn't know who he was, but look, man. But sometimes you need people like that that's going to make that moves and shakes. So you can't be mad at having somebody like that. Look, man, shout out to you, Adrian. But I know you folks in Jaguar Nation should be thrilled. So I'm looking forward to see how this unfolds. Regarding the coaching carousel, I think like Morgan State's position, head coaching's job is safe. I don't think they're going to make a change there. FAMU is going to be interesting. I don't anticipate them making a change, but I've seen crazier things happen. I could understand why they would, because FAMU did lose the Valley. I was supposed to go to that game this weekend, but I had another conflict, unfortunately, because I was only an hour away from Itabena, but I couldn't find a way to get over there. But yeah, they lost. They lost to Mississippi Valley State this weekend. But it is very difficult to get your team ready after the Florida Classic, and then they had a rough loss at the Florida Classic as well to Bethune-Cookman. So it's very difficult to get get yourself up after the Florida Classic, which is supposed to be your closer. Yep. Look, man, I could dig it, man. I think when you're the top donor, you kind of you have some level of sway. You have a level of sway. I try not to do too many takes on this show. That's for my HBCU Nightly Show MD, which is going to be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. I'll be to keep it frank with regards to why I think he's safe. I just think that Morgan's gonna let him do his contract. Like I don't think they're gonna make a move. You know, there's some school like I don't just like with you guys at Norfolk. It's rare that you guys get rid of a coach. A lot of times you guys run through your contract. Like you moving on from Dawson Odoms doesn't happen that often because historically you guys don't let coaches go. But when you had the opportunity to hire Michael Vick, I can understand why you would do something like that. I have one more story I want to go to before we go to break. A&T overcomes slow start, beats rival school down the road in Durham. The North Carolina A&T's escaped the longtime in-state chief HBCU rival school down the road with a 73-67 road victory Tuesday night in a non-conference women's basketball game. It was an intense matchup in front of an energetic Aggies and Eagles crowd in McLennan Arena. Shout out to Shania Clark. She had her second double-double of the season with 20 points, 13 rebounds. That's 20, and that's her 22nd in her career. I will say this about the school down the road. Them ladies played really well. I think they're gonna cause some problems for second place in the MEAC because I think that's Howard's. Like Howard is gonna win. In my humble opinion, the lady Bison are gonna run through the MEAC. Like I think Norfolk last year. That's how impressed I have been with Howard. So think Norfolk last year. They're gonna go ransack in the MEAC this year. But A&T had a really slow start. I watched the game yesterday. I think the big thing for that game was we were down like 15. We were down 15 points for less than 2 minutes and a half. And then we came into the Lady Aggies came into the third quarter and started the third quarter on a 17-0 run and didn't give up the lead after that. So once they took the lead, that was it. So shout out to them. And we needed that win. That was our first Division I win of the season. We lost our top two scorers. They both graduated. So this is a rebuild year for us. So that was something that they needed. They grew that night. So shout out to them. It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the season will bring with regards to them. Oh, yes, they are, Lennon. Yes, they are. Sorry. I actually got to see the Lady Bison play in person this year. They were up here playing Providence and the Friars. And the Lady Friars. And let me tell you something. Y'all ain't got nothing for them girls. Y'all ain't got nothing for them ladies. Y'all don't. They're the best team I've seen. I think they're the best team in HBCU sports right in HBCU ladies basketball right now. All right. We're going to take our first break. When we return, I'm going to have one of my co-hosts is going to be here. So we'll be right back after this first break. This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, the Indy Report, episode 750.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a state, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
College football fans, the Cricket Celebration Bowl is celebrating 10 years of crowning an HBCU national champion. A champion will rise at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on December 13th as the MEAC and SWAC champions clash in Atlanta. Join us for championship football, interactive fan experiences, and iconic marching bands. It's an HBCU family reunion that you don't want to miss. See who will be crowned the next HBCU national champion. For event and ticket information, visit thecelebrationbowl.com.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. This episode 750. This is the Indy Report, and I have Jeffery Johnson. He's out here in practice. You practicing somewhere. What's going on, sir?
Oh, nothing much, man. I'm at my son's wrestling practice. And I'm actually looking for a place to actually sit down. But
nah, that's all right. But I'm gonna give you some quick questions real fast.
Go ahead.
I want to start off with you guys.
All right.
You guys let Trent Boykin go.
We did.
And this happened while we were away. So I wanted to get your perspective on it real fast. And I also wanted to know who y'all looking at. What have you been hearing?
Okay. First, I would say it needed to be done, and there's nothing wrong with what happened. Trent was an intern, but he got the tag lifted once he showed some sort of, I would say, stability with the program. And I think what happened last year last season with I would say the team was not good. And oh boy, I think it was a combination of like poor recruiting. Some of the players that were brought in were not up to the standard which we have seen for the previous years. So you can see that the program started to move in a downward trajectory, and we didn't see any way out of it. And we were going to be, if we continued, the seller of the CAA. So it had to be done. So was the majority of the Hampton Nation behind it? Absolutely. And once it was done, it was more like, now what do we do? So I cannot say that I have heard something. I have spoken with some people within that are in the know, and I'm gonna be honest, they don't know themselves either. You know, Hampton has always been airtight, even since the Don Rhodes days, and it stays that way until we're able to, until it actually comes out. Everyone's looking at, of course, Dr. Parker, and that is pretty much the ones that everyone is saying. But from this point, nobody knows.
Yeah. Nah, Dr. Alvin Parker seems to be, from my perspective, seems to be a no-brainer.
Because he's in that Joe Taylor mode. That's why.
Yep. And
that's what we want.
Well, hopefully your 80 Henderson can make it happen, man. Because I think it would be a no-brainer, and then it'll go back. And I don't want you guys to do what we did, and then get a guy that's within the CAA ilk that isn't ready to be a head coach.
Yeah. Now, and I will just say this: this is from what I've heard other people say. This is a very critical juncture in our athletic administration, because we're now at the point that Hampton has made it a priority that athletics or football would be one of the main visible points of what the university is. And similar to what A&T is doing with bringing in your guy, we want to use that as a tool for visibility. And so I think this is a very crucial hire for Hampton, because when we hired Ivan Thomas and Tamisha Augustine for basketball, it sent a clear message through, I would say, athletics or around the CAA or to many other HBCUs that we're definitely making athletics a priority. And I think we're setting that tone
Yeah,
in
I think both of them
football.
hires are outstanding, and the Lady Powers are doing pretty well so far as well. So both of them,
Absolutely.
yeah. So like those are some priority. Those are some really good hires, and Coach Thomas has already made his mark even
Yeah.
last season in conference
Yeah.
play in the CAA.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing. You guys made some. Your AD made some phenomenal hires in that regard. So it's going to be fascinating to see what he does for football. I just know from seeing it, it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take if football is gonna take time. Basketball, you can turn it around pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Football will take some time. And
It's gonna, and it's because we have early signing day coming up, and nobody's not signing to a program that doesn't even have a head coach. So yeah, so it's gonna take some time. But I will say this: the interviews have already started. It started a while ago, and Boykin, he knew he was out. So um
how we're out
so
here interviewing folks before that man got let go.
no. Hold on. Let me stop. That was not
Yeah.
happening. That was
No.
not happening.
But what you're saying is that they've already started looking at people after he was let go.
Oh yeah. Oh no, the list was already there before they showed him the door. It's just that, okay. I mean, I think it was only proper that they started actually scheduling the interviews the minute he walked out the door.
Yeah.
So
It's,
but
it's gonna be interesting. Any thoughts on Marshall Faulk the Southern?
Stump Mitchell 2.0. I keep saying it. I think
Oh my God, man!
No, I'm dead serious. I mean, see, I do not like the savior complex for HBCUs. Stop it. I don't like it. Michael Vick, yeah, he brought butts in the seats, but what was the record? He never coached before. Now, Marshall Faulk, yes, he coached one season or maybe one or two seasons with Coach Prime at Colorado, but I don't think that's enough for a program. It's like Hugh Jackson, I sort of got, but I just do not get this whole celebrity hire thing. To me, my thing, it will work if, similar to what Deshaun Jackson did, he brought in a recruiter. He brought in a guy that he is paying for, that the university's not paying for, and that guy's actually bringing in talent that he can actually cook or actually coach. So he's cooking. He brings in the great ingredients, and coach and Deshaun Jackson does a phenomenal job of cooking the dinner. I don't think does Marshall Faulk have that strategy. What is his strategy? What is he going to recruit? I look at this as another Stump Mitchell 2.0 that will probably not end well. Or if it does end, it'll be mediocre at best. I really liked having Fred McNair on staff. I think he is stability, to be honest. And that was the guy that they should have gotten anyway.
I don't know about hiring him as a head coach, but I keeping him on staff is not a bad thing, because then you have somebody that knows the landscape, that can understand it. But my thing with the Falk hire is that you don't have a fan base problem, because people were going to the games even when they were bad this season.
True.
You do have but if you're trying to get more money raised, that's where Marshall Faulk can probably help. And I think he's already embraced saying that he's going to do that. So I'm kind of fascinated to see if
he's not.
How that.
See, this is my thing. He doesn't have the magnetic ability of Coach Prime, or even Deshaun doesn't have that either. But if he's a politician type of head coach, or a person that can smile for the cameras and get a guy to come into the university to play for the program, yeah, that will work. But what is his X's and O's like? So
It'll be interesting. I'm looking for I think he probably can get some good mentorship with other previous NFL head coaches. It's going to be interesting to see how that one unfolds. Like I'm kind of.
I totally agree with that.
I want to see how it goes, and I think the way that Falk, like I watched the presser, the way that Falk approached it was the right way to approach it.
I agree.
And so I think he knows what he's doing. I think he knows what he got himself into, and I think he's ready to embrace what he got himself into.
Yeah, I don't think it was of the Eddie George type. You know, because he didn't know what he was doing. You know, I'm glad Jeff Fisher lent a lot of expertise around him, but I do feel like he was definitely much more polished than the Michael Vick press conference. I do feel that he does pretty much would have some sort of stability when it comes to bringing or maturity in bringing in a close-knit staff. But I mean, to me, it's like you just brought in a Joe off the street who only got maybe like a year or two of experience.
I mean, I'm looking at this comment. HBCUs we already have a couple of HBCUs that has NIL collectives. A&T has one.
Yeah.
Jackson has one. There's a few HBCUs that got collectives. Howard's got a pretty big one themselves. We got a few. Yeah. You'd be surprised what A&T's paying some of these players, guys.
Oh, I mean, what?
We just picked up a 3-star defensive lineman that had P4 offers.
Yeah. You know what? And but see, the thing is, we paid for a guy to come be our head quarterback who was worse than the quarterback that we previously had, and we paid him. See that
y'all paid the dude from Lincoln?
Oh, he got the bag.
I didn't know that.
You pay this guy who was worse than the quarterback that we had that we let go. Now,
I did not realize he got NIL money.
Granted, I will say, a lot of the prognosticators thought that he was like
they thought it was legit. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, because we looked at it too, like I would say this, I follow certain FCS scouts or FCS FCS journalists, and none of them were high on this kid. The only people who were high on him were the HBCU enthusiasts. And I was like, okay, it's like the guys who really, who really study this stuff, are saying, no, this is kind of like a lateral move or a downgrade for Hampton. Whereas a lot of the I forgot the guy, Art Tech Nice or whatever his name is, all of those guys were, oh my God, Hampton's going to be this, Hampton's going to be that. And it was clearly visible when we played Jackson State. The guy couldn't throw any drag routes. And whenever he got frustrated, he just ran the ball.
Somebody said, I'm sure Tony Clayton discussed budget for assistant coaches. They should be set. Yeah, I'm curious to know what the contract is for Falk, and I'm also curious to know what that assistant pool budget is looking like.
Someone posted that it was upwards of $600K. Yo, it's like South Dakota State and Montana's coaches ain't making that.
They're making half that.
They're making half.
They're making half that.
You paying this dude at Southern that kind of money?
But then the question becomes what the assistant pool looks like if you're paying the head coach that much money.
Exactly. It's like, but this is a question: is he going to put butts in the seats? Because
he will. I'm not worried about that. Like I because the thing is, the Southern fan base, even though like you can debate whether or not the kids know who Marshall Falk is.
Yeah.
But know who Marshall Falk is?
Yeah.
Parents.
And he's a New Orleans, he's a Louisiana guy.
The parents know who Marshall Falk is.
Yeah.
The parents of them kids know who Marshall Falk is.
Yeah. Are they going to be making money off any of these classics they playing? I would tone down the classics, more home games.
Well, I mean, they get a decent chunk of home games. I mean, they only play in one.
Yeah.
The other ones are home and homes.
Yeah.
So I'm not Yeah, like Zach said, man, they average 22K with 22K.
Well,
So they're not hurting on the fan base. The fan base ain't gonna be the issue.
can we get that?
No, not well. Our stadium don't even hold 22K. So
Oh man, we can't even get 2K, man. But 10 wins, man.
look, considering what happened, and I'm gonna after the break we'll talk about the state of A&T football.
Yeah.
Considering what happened, considering what happened in our last 2 home games, I'm shocked we got an average of over 12K.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, man. All right. After the break, we'll go over A&T, state of A&T football.
Yeah.
Have some coaching changes. Want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back after this commercial break.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Planning an event? From weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural tastes, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now.
College football fans, a champion will rise in Atlanta on December 13th. MEAC champion, SWAC champion, the 10th Cricket Celebration Bowl, crowning an HBCU national champion. For event and ticket information, visit thecelebrationbowl.com.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
ESPN Events presents Red Lobster Band of the Year. Returning to Atlanta on December 12th, 4 bands will qualify for the big stage, where 2 national champions will be crowned. Follow us for rankings updates throughout the season, and join us on December 12th. For event and ticket information, visit bandoftheyear.com.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. This is episode 750. This is the Indy Report. So A&T going into the season, they had a lot of problems, had a lot of one possession games that they couldn't close out. They pulled up that incredible comeback against Hampton.
Yeah.
They had to do a similar thing against Campbell, and then the bottom fell out after the Campbell game. Had two consecutive 60-point, gave up over 60 points in 2 consecutive games, gave up over 50 points in 3 out of the last 4 games of the season. Got beat up pretty bad. So at the end of the season, they let some coaches go. They let the wide receivers coach, who also did the recruiting, go. They the offensive line coach, legendary Ron Mattis, who got a couple offensive linemen into the NFL, he decided to retire. There was just I'll give you a word on the street on that one. He was considering retirement at the end of last season if they would have kept the coach. So, but he did an outstanding job for us while he was there as the offensive line coach.
Yeah.
We also, I believe, the outside linebackers coach was also let go as well.
Yeah.
And that pretty much was the gist of the coaches that were let go. So we're looking for 3 position coaches ultimately and a recruiting coordinator. But I think one of those individuals will end up being a recruiting coordinator when it's all said and done. So we got rid of 3 coaches from the staff.
I will say this about it, and I think it's a sign of, I would say, a very smart and intuitive program. The reason why I say that is because when you're willing to move off a coach very quick, instead of just not saying like you have to show loyalty, but you're just being honest with what the program needs. Then it means you're putting the program over, I would say an ineffective coach. Because a lot of coaches want to double down. No, that's my guy. I stand by him, and this is my guy. I know who he is. But no, if it wasn't working to begin with, then you need to move off of it. And I think Sean, I love to call him Sean. He definitely, he has the feeling if he knows what he wants, and a lot of these guys, when if it is okay, because it's not trial and error. It just didn't work. So it's just like, okay, you're gonna get your check, get you out of here, but I got to get a guy that fits what I need. And I think that is probably just a trial and error for him, and this is his first year. And when you guys started giving up all those points, I kind of felt like, everyone's like, oh, the bottom fell out. No, they gave it all. They're all the game before. So they didn't have anything left. And I just felt like, that's how the kids gave everything that last week against Campbell. So I think he needed more of that type of effort. And plus, he's getting rid of some of them, I would say, bad energy kids. And, we have a ton of them too. And I know exactly what you meant when we were talking about it. Guys who love to talk and after the whistle, the guys who I would say have a lot of who play with emotion, but very little football IQ. And I hate using that term, football IQ. So I think he is on the mission to find those type of gentlemen, or a coach that can recruit those type of people. So
so 2 out of the 3 were on the offensive side of the ball, and I think a lot of the things that people were critical of was the defense at times. So I think I'll keep it frank. I think there was a lot of folks within Aggieland that thought there was going to be more changes on the coaching staff, but at the same time, you think about which ones were let go. 2 out of those 3 folks who were let go was from the Sam Washington / Broadway era too. Like Ron Mattis was there since Broadway was the coach.
Yeah, and you know what though? This is the thing. Ron Mattis, he's a legend within the HBCU community. So, I get, but and to me, that's the biggest hurdle right there is replacing him. I don't think you can replace him.
Oh well, I think he was looking into retire. Like I said, he's been on the coach staff for over a decade at this point. So I think for him, it was time, right? Like he played in the NFL, he got into coaching, he got really good at getting offensive linemen into the NFL. It was just more of a matter of time. I'm just going to be fascinated to see who we bring in to shore up the staff. I think a lot of folks really wanted other things to happen, particularly on the defensive side or the coaching side of the fence. But I knew that was going to be a tough. I think a lot of times a fan base, we just think, oh, we're just going to get rid of people like that. And Broadway was known for doing that. When Broadway was the head coach at A&T, he was going through coordinators like water. Like he was swapping them guys out quick until he got to what he wanted.
But Broadway was hell on wheels when it comes to coach. Like to me, I think it was a Celebration Bowl when you guys played Grambling, and you guys were going in the red zone, and you were think about on the 2-yard line, and Broadway was like, "No, let's go for it." And I guess the shift on the formation didn't work, and he called timeout. He went on that 50-yard line and with his headset and was cursing at whoever the coordinator was, the guy who went to the D2 program.
Oh, Chip Hester.
Yes, Hester. Yes,
Chip Hester.
Yeah, and the cameras caught him looking at the booth like eyeing him. And I was just sitting here like, good God Almighty. Like that, he was
he's
staring at
intense.
ladies from the 50.
Yeah, he's
Like,
intense.
so I totally got that. And
But that was his guy. He was OC when they went undefeated. So that was his guy. But it took him a while to get to him.
Yeah. And but my whole thing is like I felt like, because just watching you guys, it felt like more of a personnel issue rather than a coaching issue. Now I will say that there were a little bit, though the coaches that were let go, I see why they let them go, but it felt like it was more of a lack of personnel in those position groups that were let go.
It's interesting. There was a moment like the last cut, like, and for those who are watching, I highly recommend you guys go look at probably the last 3 Sean Gibbs press conferences on A&T's YouTube page. You'll get it. Like you'll see the transition of him knowing that things were going to have to change dramatically.
Yeah.
Like there was one where it was clear that he wasn't just talking about players that was going to get let go at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like it was clear. Like that was like he pretty much took the gloves off in one of them.
Yeah.
I believe it was the last one or like one before that. He kind of gloves went off. Like gloves went off. It was a no holds bar type of situation at that point. He pretty much laid it out, pretty much told him, if you don't want to be here no more, just go now. You ain't got to wait till the end of the season. Just go.
Yeah.
Like he knows what he has to do to fix this. And it's going to take much more than what he thought it was going to take. And he admitted that going into prior to the season starting. It's going to be a lot.
I think a lot of the coaches, they felt, oh, I can do it. I got it. That unbridled confidence. And,
but you don't know what you got until you walk into the room. Like once you walk into, like just like Marshall Faulk, when he goes, he ain't gonna know what he truly walked himself into.
He gonna see a 5'6" running back, and then he's gonna be like, "What in the world did I get?" Because Southern is known for having them.
But they got some. But all jokes aside, though, they got some good talent at the defensive side of the ball. They got some talent on the defensive side of the ball. Evans is legit.
They just had bad coaching.
All right, Mr. King, how you doing, sir?
You can see I literally got my hands full.
Literally, the fact that you were able to get to the mute button was impressive in itself. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm just sitting here enjoying the conversation you brothers was having.
Yeah, I listen, man. Look, we're just talking about destruction and rebuilding. That's all. That's what it is.
Yeah, because it's rough on our end too.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much you want to get into your illustrious Tennessee State football program.
Yeah, look,
I don't think you're going to be changing their head coach. But
no, and said, and this actually came up on one of the OVC coaches calls. Now you've been cool the whole time. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to. What if I do this? What if I do this and I keep talking? What if I do that? Okay, I do that, so I keep talking.
Go for it, man.
But no, I think when he got the job kind of late into the cycle and everything, and you don't really have that full cycle to get your guys in, and considering all the guys that left after Coach George left, I mean, and we talked about it before the season started. And I think they didn't even, what did I say, 4 wins, and they didn't even get to that. We should have, but I'm not hitting the panic button yet. I think really, when you look at them, and I watched all the games, a lot of their problem was more offensive. I thought the defense, by and large, played pretty decent football, albeit, considering the talent that left. But I wasn't necessarily as concerned offensively, and we talked about it at length, that they're a very offensively challenged football team, and they've got to get some guys in. And he said, at the end of the year press conference, that one of the things that they were going to look at is getting bigger and more physical on both sides of the ball. So you got to look at that, because even with And guys that you've got potential home run hitters from an offensive standpoint at skill positions, but if your quarterback's running for his life half the time, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they're going to be better next year. I'm still all in on the Coach Barlow hire. I thought it was a good hire when they made it, and I still think it's a good one now. And the funny thing is some of the people that are up in arms about it. These are the same people that wanted to run Eddie George out of town after 8 games. So
What did wait? All right, wait. After 8, well, then again, we do have some Aggies that we're talking about. We need to move on from Gibbs already, and I had to cool them jets quickly.
Hold on,
Yes.
they're not saying that already.
yeah, it was some people like not even halfway, well, a little, not even fully through his first season. It's like, man, they need to fire him. I don't know why they hired him. He ain't got no experience. The team is not good. And I was like, well, first of all, the cupboard was bare when he got here from a talent perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, the man has to restock. The powder was dry. So what are you talking about? I mean, I'm always unless something catastrophic happens, you got to give him at least one class to see if your program is trending in the right direction. And to be honest, you could really start to see it. I would say I started to see it the back half of year 2, going into year 3. And when they started off 6-2, and before the wheels fell off, and they ended up finishing 6-5. But you could see it in that second and third year, and then they put everything together last year. So you gotta give stuff time. I know that people and administration are more impatient because of the portal and all this type stuff, but this is not a microwave deal as I see it.
No, it's not. I think I like the Reggie Barlow hire. I just think you got to get those guys patience, man. I just think going winless in the conference makes it difficult, but
Yeah.
there's going to be some level of patience that's going to have to be had. I think you got a good hire. I just hope you guys aren't good when we play you guys again in Greensboro. However, it'll be fascinating to see how he gets a full recruiting year. And I think that's the dangerous thing about that's why I'm concerned about Hampton right now, man. Like, y'all got to name a coach soon, bro.
Yeah, it is. In the signing day and all this.
Yeah, y'all got to name a coach soon, man.
Because the way it is now, y'all could really be a year behind.
Mm-hmm.
And 2026 could be a wash.
We're already. Oh no, it will be, and we're being honest about it. For us right now, stability is exactly what we haven't had stability. Honestly, going back to, I don't even know what era. I mean, let's take the Joe. We haven't really had maybe with Connell Maynard, so we just need stability and somebody to establish a culture. We thought that we had that in Prunty, but Prunty was, Nick Nolte and Blue Chips, Let me stop.
I think some kids ain't gonna know that reference.
You know what? And that tells you to go look it up, man. So honestly, we have to be real about it. Like, we are in a position where we just need somebody stable who can help build a program. We know next year is probably not going to be another good year as well, but somebody who can get the foundation going, then we can build upon that.
It all depends, right? Because I will say this: Villanova's leaving the conference. William Mary is leaving the conference.
Oh God!
And William Mary is leaving for just football.
Yeah.
Villanova was only there for football. Yeah. Sacred Heart is entering the conference.
Yeah. Okay.
So we shall see.
Yeah.
How it goes. And my boy Brandon is Allen Iverson for head coach for Hampton is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Stop.
That is hilarious.
No. Hampton don't don't do celebrity hires, especially ones that still wear cornrows. So let's keep it real. So if Hampton's gonna do a celebrity hire, it's gonna be a dude with a suit. So that's unfortunate. You know, I think in giving everybody a shot, but unfortunately.
So I will say this. There was another podcast that I can't remember the name of it right now that I guess some former players did for Hampton. And basically, one of the podcasters pretty much asked the question, and I retweeted it on my Twitter page. What's the goal? It was like if the goal is to try to bring more revenue into the institution, then we should go to Norfolk State route. But if the goal is to try to win a bunch of games, we got to see. For him, he's frustrated because he's like, I want Hampton folks to care. But and so what do we have to do? He's like, so it boiled down to like, what do you have to do so people will care? Because he pretty much said, let's say we won 7 or 8 games and we go to the FCS playoffs and do all that.
Yeah.
Would the fan base care? Because he questioned whether or not they would care. And if that's the case, then you might as well just do what Vic did. Yeah, Norfolk only won 1 game, but people came to the games, people cared. So, it's going to be fascinating to see which way Hampton's going to go. And if I was a betting person, I'm pretty sure Hampton's going to go get a guy with a coaching regimen.
Yes.
To try to wield this. But it's going to be a challenging job because of the conference that you're in. And the draw, and the thing about the CAA, because they have so many teams, right? Yeah. Because they have so many teams, you have to take into account. Your schedule's not going to always be like. Some years you're going to have a manageable schedule, and some years you're going to have a gauntlet.
Absolutely.
Like some years you're going to run into Rhode Island, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Stony Brook,
Maine, and all.
You're gonna have a tough draw. And some years you might get Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Like you might get Bryant, Campbell. Like you go like,
dude, yeah.
Huh? But that's the thing. I wasn't gonna do that to you. I was trying not to do that to you. All right.
No, Hampton is lunch meat for everybody. So
A&T right now is too, and we're gonna try to change that. But the point is that the schedule is so. You could have a ridiculous like this year's CAA schedule for A&T was by far the easiest one we've had.
Yeah.
By far, it was the easiest one we had.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we're thinking, we got a shot against Maine.
Yeah.
And we almost beat Maine.
Yeah.
But they ended up winning like 5 games in the conference. And that was like, we got a shot against these guys, and they ended up winning 5 games in the conference.
Absolutely.
Like.
And I will just say that Hampton.
I thought that was you, Adam. I thought that was you.
It was
the Hampton Then and Now podcast. He was on the
What is the Hampton Then and Now podcast? Because we're the official Hampton podcast. Who is
that?
Don't
be out here trying to compete. Don't be out here trying to don't create podcast beef on Cavil show.
First of all, we've been doing this for over a decade, and these are new jacks, man. I think if it is, it's probably my homeboy, Dr. Scott, my bro X. That's if it's him. That's my boy. So that's my man. So we go back since '97. So, but I will just say
Adam's on there too. So
who was on there?
Adam Spencer.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I know Adam. So yeah.
Don't be out here creating like podcast beefs on this show. Like I've been in a podcast beef before. It was very, very fascinating.
No, we're not gonna do that because Adam Carpenter, he's a part of the HU Pirate ship. So we talk all the time on Slack. So I will say this though. Hampton is definitely gonna go the traditional route. No Snoop Dogg on the sideline, none of that mess, So I just feel that Hampton is definitely being careful, and they understand that the next season probably will be a wash, but we will have our guy, and we will have some sort of foundation which will be able to build a culture which we can create upon. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
All right, Brandon. I know you've been taking care of your chillings. Any last thoughts before we close out?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. And it's actually not TSU related. I actually watched y'all play the school, as you like to say, the school up the road last night.
Yeah, we almost gave it away with 12 turnovers in the fourth quarter.
Y'all tried your best. Tried your best.
Well, we had a slow start, man. Like we didn't look good in the first half, but then they came roaring in the third quarter.
And I had turned it on because I was seeing what was on. And my son, he's sometimey about watching college basketball. But even he got into it. He was like, Are they gonna lose the game? I said, they trying.
Nah, well, the thing is, that's been the biggest challenge all year. Like we've been playing some of these teams pretty good, and then we gave it away in the fourth quarter. But turnovers have been their biggest concern all season. But they're a young team. They lost their two top scorers. They gotta learn how to play together. They'll get it right. They'll sharpen it up. They'll sharpen it up by conference play. I mean, we got Norfolk up next, yo. So
well, look, if nothing else, it was an entertaining game.
Oh yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game. I was watching it while I was doing P&P yesterday, doing the podcast yesterday. So it was a really good game. But now we got the Beholders up next. You know, we got so Lynn and y'all going down. Y'all are going down. We owe y'all from last year. I'm kind of shocked it's not at y'all place either. I think I probably should have messaged to Coach Robert, figure out why, because they played it at Corbett last year. So we'll see.
Gee. Well, at least Diamond and Kiera ain't there, so y'all don't have to worry about those two.
Yeah, you ain't lying. That's why I told Lennon they ain't gonna have a shot against Howard this year, man. Y'all gonna have to take that L. And shout out to the men's team. They're gonna be playing Howard down the street at Cameron Indoor Stadium. So that should be a good one. I'm looking forward to that.
I'll be tuned into that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. It's gonna be on HBCU Go. If A&T's making their HBCU Go debut.
Making that appearance.
Making that once a year, maybe a once a year appearance. We'll see. Any last thoughts, Jeff, before we adjourn?
Absolutely not. I mean, hopefully this time next week we'll be talking about our new coach.
I hope so too. That'll be a good topic. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Oh, before we go though, I gotta ask you guys real quick because I gotta close out. SWAC championship, Prairie View, Jackson State. Who you got, Jeff?
Prairie View.
Oh boy. You gotta get out on Twitter. What about you, Brandon?
And Jackson State, but it's going to be way closer than people think.
The line was at
it's coming down. It's gonna come down to the last possession.
Yeah. Jackson State are 9.5 point favorites. I agree with you. I got Jackson State, but it's gonna be very, 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 very close. I think, like you said, probably gonna be like a field goal type of situation. But all right, let me go ahead and close this out because ONG Strike Zone's up next. Thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. We look forward to next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab. You can follow me on Twitter at champd1012 at champd1. I'm about to give y'all my email. You can follow me on Twitter at champd1012. Check out hupowership.com and check out their podcast. They did a really good podcast talking about the removal of Coach Boykin last week. Make sure you guys and gals check that out and check out sneakershoptalk.com because he's out here dropping articles about everything that's going to be happening. I think the coaching carousel is not done quite yet, so just be on the lookout for that. Make sure you follow Dr. Cavil on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And follow Inside HBCU Sports Lab 1 on Facebook and Inside HBCU Sports Lab on YouTube. Dream big and continue to move forward. We'll talk to you soon. Jeff. Jeff. Of course. Brandon.
Lecture.
Dismiss. I'll see you guys next week.